You know, when we think of drones, we picture those remote-controlled flyers, the ones that get us those amazing aerial shots or maybe drop off a package. But what happens next? What comes after the drones we know today? Well, that's exactly what we're digging into. A brand new frontier in robotics called the Robotic Unmanned Aerial Vehicle, or RUAV for short.
And that really is the big question, isn't it? The whole world of unmanned systems is moving so fast. We're getting really close to this turning point where the machines we've built are starting to outpace our ability to directly control them in real time.
Think about it. In today's world, you've got things like communication delays, really hostile environments, and just the sheer speed of everything that's happening. All that is pushing our current human-controlled vehicles to their absolute breaking point. So the need for a machine that can actually think for itself, it's shifting from something out of a sci-fi movie to a real strategic necessity. So here's our game plan. First, we'll talk about why the drones we have now just aren't going to cut it anymore. Then, we'll get into what a true robotic agent really is. We'll break down the 8 pillars that make it autonomous, walk through its 5 stages of evolution, and finally, we'll look at what a future with self-evolving machines might actually be like. Okay, so the biggest challenge really boils down to one thing: speed. In this era of high-tech competition, you need systems that can think and act faster than a human can. They need to make decisions in real time without waiting for some operator sitting miles away to give the next command. And that's where this whole concept of the robotic, unmanned aerial vehicle comes in. Now, this isn't just about building a better drone. No, this is a whole new way of thinking. We're moving from a tool that we fly by remote control to an autonomous, robotic agent that operates on its own. This chart just nails the difference. See, a normal UAV is platform-centric. It's all about the physical machine that we pilot around. But an RUAV, it's decision-centric. It's an autonomous agent. Its whole purpose is to perceive what's going on around it and then make its own choices to get the job done. It follows a mission, not just a series of commands. So here's the formal definition, and the keywords here are really important. It's a fully autonomous robotic platform. But check out the verbs: perceiving, deciding, learning, and executing. That's what makes it so different from a pre-programmed robot. It's an agent, not just a device.
So how on earth does a machine like this actually work? Well, the theory behind it breaks it down into 8 core components, or pillars. You can almost think of this as the anatomy of an RUAV, the very blueprint of its design.
And this diagram shows how it all fits together. It's not just a random list of features, it's a completely interconnected system. You can see how the physical body, the cognitive brain, and its mission all work together as one. Let's zoom in on a few of these key parts.
First, let's talk about its body, which is actually intelligent in its own right. The engine isn't just bolted on, it's part of the core structure to make it super stable. It's got a dynamic tail for making incredibly sharp turns. And get this, it uses smart materials that can literally change color for active camouflage, adapting to its surroundings on the fly.
But the real magic is in its brain. A fully autonomous AI is in charge of everything. And here's the absolute game changer: autonomous learning. This system is designed to look back at its own mistakes and failures, figure out what went wrong, and then evolve its own strategies over time. No human programmer needed. And finally, we have its power and purpose. This thing is built for endurance. It uses a mix of hydrogen, solar, and kinetic energy, so it can stay on mission for a very, very long time. And it's a true multi-domain vehicle. It can operate in the air, on land, and even underwater. So a machine this advanced doesn't just appear overnight, right? It's not a single invention. It's a system designed to evolve. The whole concept is laid out in 5 different stages, mapping its journey from a pretty basic autonomous platform to a truly intelligent agent.
This chart lays out that whole journey. You can see a really clear progression here, with each new version building on the last. That arrow going from the bottom left to the top right, that represents a huge leap in how autonomous, how smart, and how complex these systems become over time. It all starts with RUAV 1.0, which just masters basic autonomous flight. Then 2.0 adds that cool environmental adaptation. 3.0 is where it masters operating across air, land, and sea. But the really huge jump happens at 4.0, which brings in true cognitive autonomy, that self-learning we talked about. And finally, you get to RUAV 5.0, which is the theoretical peak, a self-evolving entity that acts as a genuinely independent strategic agent. Okay, but you have to check out this bottom row on human involvement.
This is maybe the most important shift of all. It shows our role changing from supervised autonomy in version 1.0 to strategic oversight in 3.0, and then finally to an ethical policy role in 5.0. Our job literally evolves from being a pilot to being a strategist and ultimately to being an ethicist, the one who sets the rules of the road for a truly autonomous agent.
So when you put all of this together, this evolution leads us to a completely new strategic reality. I mean, developing RUAVs isn't just a cool tech upgrade, it fundamentally changes what unmanned systems are and what their role in the world will be.
What this is all pointing to is a massive shift in thinking. The machine is going from a passive tool that just does what we tell it to an active strategic actor. These systems are designed to interpret, to adapt, and to actually shape their environments, not just react to them.
This whole idea is summed up perfectly right here. Our UAVs are intelligent robotic agents capable of shaping rather than merely executing their missions. That one little change in phrasing has huge implications for the future of strategy, of security, and of technology itself.
Which leaves us with one final big question to think about. For 100 years, we've been perfecting tools that we can directly control. But as these machines evolve from simple tools into complex learning teammates, the whole idea of control has to be redefined. What does it even mean to lead or to partner with or to trust an intelligent agent that can learn, adapt, and act all on its own? That's the real challenge waiting for us.